So I've been reading some reports and looking at some things, and one thing that's caught my eye is some reports about Karl-Anthony Towns and the Clippers. And the question I have in my head based upon reports is, would the Clippers trade for Karl-Anthony Towns? And I think that would be maybe a good move, I would say, for the Clippers. I can't say it'd be bad. I'm not sure about Karl-Anthony Towns, playoff experience in regards to what the Clippers would need as far as their big men playoff experience and kind of like that ruggedness and toughness. I think Karl-Anthony Towns brings a little bit of edge and toughness with him, and he can stretch the floor too. He can definitely shoot. He definitely can knock down free throws. I think he would be a good addition to the Clippers. I just don't know if he's exactly what the Clippers really need, because like I said, I think, his size, he can get more rebounds for the Clippers. He can actually, bang in the paint a lot more, and he's a lot more forceful than a Zubac. He's a lot more threatening than Zubac, because like I said, he can step out and stretch the floor and knock down threes. And like I said, he doesn't have any fear of anybody that he plays against. He definitely embraces a challenge, and he definitely does it well. I think Karl-Anthony Towns is a, all-star type player easily. Of course, we all know that. And I think, he's a very talented player. As I said before, I just don't know if he is the player that really fit, or maybe not fit. I don't know if he's the player that the Clippers need, because when I look at just what the Clippers have, I mean, Zubac, I'm not, going to say Zubac has played outstanding and, the best that he's ever could. I think Zubac's upside is a lot higher. His ceiling is a lot higher than what you see, but he hasn't lived up to that, so we can't speak on that. And I think, having somebody like Mason Plumlee come off the bench, the way he plays and the way he can, kind of pass the ball and, get offensive rebounds, which is huge. He's good at getting offensive rebounds, and he can, he'll make a play or two for himself here and there to score as well. And the way he can shoot free throws with his left hand is impressive. But I mean, I feel like, what the Clippers have in regards to their big men, just by adding somebody like Mason Plumlee, I feel like you have enough in that position. I feel like, Zubac can stay healthy with Plumlee backing him up. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a very good, combination that the Clippers have. Because, Zubac is more, finesse in the paint, but he can, move his feet real well. He's got good footwork. He can knock down free throws. So can Mason Plumlee. And Mason Plumlee gives you a different element with his passing. So, I mean, I feel like that's a good combination, a good mixture right there in your big men that you have. So I don't really think Karl-Anthony Towns would really be needed. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they really need more scoring, because the Clippers thing is they can score a lot of points, but, their thing is just health. They got defense and all that. You know what I'm saying? They have everything you need to win. They just can't stay healthy enough and stay on the court for that to transpire. So, I mean, my thing is this, I feel like they have what they need. I don't feel like they really need to go after Karl-Anthony Towns. If they do go after Karl-Anthony Towns, what would they give up for him? Because you got to remember, Karl-Anthony Towns is somewhat injury prone himself. You know what I'm saying? He's not exactly a guy that stays healthy a lot himself, So, if you trade up too much, if you mortgage a lot of the team for Karl-Anthony Towns, who's a bigger name than a lot of other names on the Clippers outside of Kawhi and PG, then it's like, you're putting you're betting everything on Karl-Anthony Towns' health, along with, Kawhi and PG's health, which hasn't, proved to be true as of yet. So I'd be very interested to see, like, if the Clippers actually, would trade for Karl-Anthony Towns, because like I said, although it sounds like a very attractive piece, it's a very questionable piece at the same time. Because like I said, what the Clippers have in the big man area right now is not that bad. I mean, it's really good enough to win, if you ask me, especially the way I seen Mason Plumlee play. He played very good. I mean, he played, underratedly. Nobody talks about how good he played in the minutes that he was asked to come out there and contribute and be productive. And he was productive in the minutes he was out there. And it was good to see. It was good to see that the Clippers finally got like a good backup center that they can rely on, that actually gives them additional output. Like I said, he can pass, he can shoot free throws. And like I said, he's definitely a really, really good offensive rebounder. I mean, he definitely is, like, he just has a knack for that. So, I mean, that's perfect in regards to what the Clippers need when they subbed Big Zoo out. So Karl-Anthony Towns, he might actually end up just staying where he is, or they might actually end up trading him. I was also hearing something about him being traded to the Bulls, or I see the Lakers up there as another team. But I mean, that's, possibly just, speculation or something like that. But I mean, who knows? But I really don't see Karl-Anthony Towns coming to the Clippers. I'm not going to say I'd be surprised. Of course, I'm not surprised by anything, but I really see it being highly unlikely based upon the Clippers have, unless it's like a contractual situation that they have on their end and they want to get rid of some contracts and they want to bring a bigger name in there because they feel like that might give the Clippers like a big three or something like that based upon, what other teams might be trying to do this offseason and load up as much as they can. So I get that. But at the same time, I just don't see, like I said, in the long run where it's going to benefit, because you have Karl-Anthony Towns. He doesn't really have much playoff experience because the Timberwolves don't go to the playoffs that often, or at least they haven't been to the playoffs that often, or did anything in the playoffs when they went since Karl-Anthony Towns has been there. They're just a middle of the pack or, lower seeded team usually every year, or they were for years. These last couple of years with Anthony Edwards, they look like they have some upside. But I mean, really, that's where, Karl-Anthony Towns really kind of belongs to me. I don't even think they should trade him. I think they should just keep him and Ant and kind of build off that. And I think the Clippers should keep what they have. And like I said, Karl-Anthony Towns really doesn't have much playoff experience. And when you're trying to go, and when you go to a team like the Clippers with Kawhi and PG, you kind of need to be a premier player with some playoff experience, because they're trying to go for a championship, and that's really what they're all, made up for. And Karl-Anthony Towns, like I said, with minimal experience in the playoffs like that, just being in playing tournaments and things like that, and maybe making the playoffs here and there, it doesn't really, give the Clippers what they need in regards to a big man they really can utilize and know they can count on in big moments in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Karl-Anthony Towns can't do it, but you just don't know whether he can because you haven't seen him do it. So it's like, he's going to come on the Clippers all of a sudden and be the, a extra piece that they need to get him over the hump. Maybe if that trade actually happens, but also maybe not. So I personally think not. But, either way, it doesn't really matter. We have to see whether the trade goes through or not, or if it's something that's just speculation, or is it something that comes to reality? Because if it does, of course, we could talk about it more then.